Yes, we're on with the Saint Phnx boys!
Here we go.
Now boys, you're on the King Tuts, but we've obviously took you to the main stage.
It's inspiring to see what's next after King Tut's get to a bigger stage.
He's getting ahead of himself, isn't he?
What are you right, mate? It's a fucking brilliant news.
Too excited, aye.
Get Capaldi on that King Tuts and get you
We transfer, aye.
He's looking forward to it. King Tuts is still a big stage, isn't it?
Aye. It's good, aye. It's, we played Trnsmt last year, we're in the smaller stage, so naturally progressing up the stage is going to be the way to go, so we're buzzing for tomorrow, 100%.
Obviously, you are brothers, is it a bit like the Gallagher's just fighting that opponent, or do you get off each other? What do you do?
Obviously, bit similarities. Youngest one being the main star, oldest one writes the songs, kind of that way, you know what I mean?
No, I think the good thing is it's very honest in terms of, we actually noticed that like when we're going in the crew and all the rest of the ways, they're kind of taking aback how the way we talk to each other and that, but it's no holds barred and it is kind of honest. But you can fight 1 minute and the next minute you're best mate, so that's the best way to be.
Have you ever seen me done that SWG for 22 nights? You started to fucking hate each other, didn't you? How many times you played Trnsmt? Is this the first?
No, second time.
What was it like last time?
It was brilliant. It was great. As I said, when you're from Scotland, you want to just play the biggest Scottish festival. We're lucky enough in a previous band to play Tea in the Park.
Oh, by the way, drop the names. Who was your dressing room in between at Tea in the Park?
Come on, come on.
Sorry, I think you mentioned. No, we're in between Calvin Harris and Rihanna, and Jeff and Craig at DF says don't do anything stupid in these selfies. They're just your artists now. You be playing it cool. First 2 minutes in there, man, Rihanna in a headlock and all the rest of it, and Calvin Harris. But being involved in that kind of thing though it's what you want to be doing.
You didn't want this on camera, but you said when Calvin Harris went out, you put your balls on his decks.
I dipped Willie in the drink. I said, "They're behind me."
How was Rihanna gorgeous?
She's alright. You know what she's like. She's
he
like
was one of the folk that had the t-shirt with the print on it. Didn't
Oh,
he?
the top man t-shirt with Rihanna print on it.
I went to Primark before I went off my stage gear and turned up, but she's alright.
Brilliant. How many people you expect to come and see you?
You don't know, because we checked a couple of bands last year at the King Tut stage when we weren't playing, and it was rammed. So who knows, man? Thousands.
Do you sleep the night before a big gig like that, or is it proper nervous?
I don't get nervous anyway. The only thing I get nervous for is see if you're singing live on TV. It's a killer, man. Red Light Fever. But festivals, see if you do so many gigs in a row, kind of becomes second nature. So don't really get nervous anymore. No.
What's the telly appearances that you've done that you were really nervous about?
We did see BB's.
No chance. Mr. fucking Tumble.
Rock and roll.
Mr. Tumble shot.
We did Saturday mashup at the BBC, and it was Nandy Bushell. So she drums with Dave Grohl and all the rest of it. Brilliant. And we had Ferry for Diversity. So and then we were on it, we were playing live, but he was miming. Right?
You're a fraud, man.
I've been doing that playing the drums. Love you, mum.
Right, so it's a backing track, but the vocals are live, right? So
You're under pressure.
I'm warming my vocal up, man. About 3 hours, so I've plenty of time, breathe and
long enough.
Jeez, man, as soon as Saint Phnx take it away, man, your arse just goes. So he's hitting it, he's miming, he's playing cymbals and there's no cymbals, he's playing toms, and he starts playing guitar and all the
He
rest.
looks like fucking Ringo Starr,
I'm doing the Cadbury advert, the gorilla.
He's doing all that, and the first couple of notes, man, I choked a bit, because your body just seizes up. I guess it's like you can relate it to with Slaney.
I'm Slaney Shaggy.
I was going to say with Fibber, but yeah, Slaney Shaggy, you just shite yourself. But with festivals and that, no, it's pretty much second nature now. It's alright, aye.
Is it always a better atmosphere in Scotland as well?
100%. It's the best, man. Don't be wrong, Europeans are bonkers. They've got the same mentality as Scotland, I guess. But it's always good to play in front of your own fans, aye. The Scottish fans, that's what everybody says, all the artists and bands that come through, that the Scottish fans are up there with the best.
You are massive Rangers fans, so did you get like Custody Boxsters flung at you?
Aye, Custody Boxsters.
The ones that Custody, I haven't taken them up the road.
I know.
Sit with them like
that. But we get, we don't really get much pants chucked at us, do we? No.
By the way, I need to pull you up as well, because claims to be a massive Rangers fan. He's got fucking tomboys.
I do.
Can you alter that on the highway?
That's shocking, mate.
Can you explain yourself?
I'll explain myself. So when I play live, I get my creepers on.
Like
I get I wear big creepers that are born on like the punk scene, and then I've got a white t-shirt with a leather jacket. So the white always matches the white socks. So I had Adidas ones, but they had 3 stripes on them. I thought I can't be wearing that. So it was the only pair of
Excuse is terrible, isn't it?
and I was
That's
fine.
terrible,
I was
isn't
fine.
it?
I sat down and I went, oh, I'm going to get slated.
2 things. You used to say, I'm colourblind, I didn't know. That'd have been you.
I should have, but it's the
Tell me.
secret's out,
So
man.
what's Trnsmt messaging? If you've got a
Yeah.
ticket, come along this weekend. Some important info. Ensure you arrive as prepared as possible. Why
Right.
don't you tell your fans? Because it's you that come and say.
Right, go. Serious.
Let's see how good you are. If you can
If
look
you
at
get
the
tickets,
destination
if you-
while you're
tickets,
doing it, this is what I need to do. So have a wee scan over it and just address your fans into the camera.
Right,
please.
okay, if you get tickets to come along this weekend, we've got some important info. We're planning to travel.
No, you need to tell people.
I
Don't
know,
tell yourself.
I was going to read it. And
Oh,
then
you're going to do it?
I was going to
Okay,
do
okay, go
I'm
for
a
it.
professional, man.
Good
No,
man,
that-
right, let's see it.
Nah, no demo,
importantly-
Right.
Right.
Did
I'll do
you
the
say
last
with
bit.
Saint Phnx,
I'll
eh?
do the last bit.
How's it going, everybody? Saint Phnx here, an open goal podcast with the legendary Ferry here. Remember, if you're coming to Trnsmt this weekend, prepare for the whole weekend. Don't rely on trains. Make sure you prepare to get here.
Plan your travel. Next.
Download your tickets in advance. You don't want to be turning
Yes.
up at the gate and going, do you know what I mean? It's no download it. 4G, 5G signal's going to be crap. So make sure you
Is there
download
4
your
lines
ticket.
on that?
It's
You're
a,
taking the piss, man.
it's a cashless site, so always have your card ready if you want a beer or something to eat. But most
What
important,
about the Johnny machines?
the Johnny machine.
Are they card as well?
And they're free. And they're free.
Contactless.
Love everybody.
Slaney's dad's got a backpack with Johnny's. He'll be handing it out.
But most importantly, take care of each other and have a great time.
Well done, well done,
lads.
Stevie.
By the way, there's a bit of Giroud about you as well.
Giroud?
Giroud.
Signed that boy Cholak for PAOK, what they called?
No, Panathinaikos,
Not
no.
PAOK. He scored against us at Malmo, but he's getting the nickname the Govan Giroud. That's
Right.
because
Is
he
it?
looks a bit like
Is he a
that.
handsome boy, is he?
He's a handsome man, he's a good looking guy.
Someone said Baby Dado.
Baby dad, no.
Who's that personally?
Aye.
Personal. No, it's the Govan Giroud, that's what they're christening him, aye.
Are you happy with that signing? Good signing?
Aye.
Centre forward is
Aye.
probably something you've needed for when Morelos is
Oh,
the fit.
100%.
100%.
Obvious for the last couple of transfer windows.
I
isn't
think Roof's been a wee bit. Roof's great, but he's been unpredictable with his fitness. Morelos has been brilliant, but with injury, so we need to strengthen. Like Itton's away, Defoe's away, so we need to
Aribo's away
strengthen
now
up.
as well. 'Cause he was
Aribo,
playing there the last.
He
what,
kind of
4-5
played as a
games.
false nine.
Aye.
false
towards
nine,
the
and he
end,
was,
didn't
he was brilliant. He did as well. So, hopefully we definitely need more folk in. So hopefully that happens in the next couple of weeks.
Right, we're going to come on to Rangers and obviously
Right.
your love for him, but I just want to talk about, it's not on the sheep, so I'm just flinging it into you. Happy Place, that was where I
Right.
kind of first started to get to know you.
Right.
Tell us your story about it, because it's unbelievable, just told us off camera.
Aye, so happy place. So we were 2019. We're travelling all about America. Brilliant, great times. So before that, our dad he had a terminal illness. It's called pulmonary fibrosis, which basically is a scarring of the lungs, which means that your lungs over time will deteriorate. So he said, listen, 5 to 6 years. That's what I've got. So we couldn't believe. We didn't think that's. We didn't think that's a. No, our dad's Superman. No
Yeah.
chance. And he played it off as if he's got to beat it. It was terminal. He said, "I'll beat this," kind of thing. So for the first couple of years, he was fine. He was just normal. He made the decision. They knew he was going to die. That he wanted to. His dream with my mum was to build a house. So they bought a piece of land up at Lanark, and it looks out to these beautiful hills. And he built his house there. And he says, when I die, that's my legacy for my wife, my kids, my grandkids. That will always be there. I've always wanted to do that. So through 2019, so we were travelling everywhere. It was brilliant. And then we announced a headline tour across Europe 2020, and it sold out. It was the first time we've ever put on a tour across Europe. It sold out. It was brilliant. So we were having the time of our life, and then COVID hit. Everyone was shut down. So we had no place to go to write songs or do the studio or that. So my dad says, listen, the top of my garage is a wee room. Why don't you build a studio there so you can make your songs? So in 2020 we were there every day making songs, and just lucky to have a place to do that. Every night we would come in and we'd show our dad the songs that we'd just written. He was our biggest fan. But as 2020 progressed, his health really started to deteriorate, and we knew that something wasn't right. You could tell in his eyes, he kind of knew that he was passing away. He'd never show it, he'd never say anything, never told anybody.
Yeah.
That would be the case. So one day had a song in the studio, and I went in to show him it because it was his favourite thing. I always G'd him up, and he was just sitting in his living room looking out to these beautiful hills. And that week in particular, I had a lung function test, which was low. So his lungs, he knew his lungs were decreasing, so he just wanted to leave him alone. But I went into the house to show him one of these songs, and he was at peace. He was looking to these hills, and he just looked like he was in a good place. So I didn't say anything. I just looked at him, and I just jumped back into the studio, and I says to Alan, "I've just seen my dad there, and just what I saw, I'm dead inspired to write about it." So we started putting the chords together, and I just said, "Over the hills and far away, looking out for a better day. When it seems like there's no escape," and Alan just went, "Take me to my happy place." And that we only had that chorus, and it just resonated with us. But it was almost like we can't write a song, but my dad's dying. We don't want to write it because he might still live. We don't know. And anyway, we just parked the song, and as the year progressed, he kept getting sicker. And on Christmas Day or Christmas night, he got taken into hospital because he couldn't breathe. And because of COVID, we couldn't go and see him. And we used to FaceTime him, and he would say, "How's the music going? How are we doing with the songs?" And we said, "We can't write songs. We were heaps mashed up. We can't write anything. We're
Worried about you.
Worried about you." And he said, "You need to keep going." He said, "One thing is you never stop doing it, never." So I said to him, "We need to write a song. So we wrote the verses about everything we're going through. We recorded it, finished it, and the night we finished it, we drove down I drove back to the studio, listened to it in the car. And literally when I got home, I get the phone call to say, "You need to come up, your dad's going to pass away tonight, you need to go and say your final goodbyes." So luckily enough, we got to the hospital and we got to play him the song, and he got to hear it before he died, which was insane. And we're just so glad that we got to show him the song. And then, the next couple of days after speaking to the manager, we told him we wrote this song about our dad, and he asked to hear it. And the next thing we know,
that's the song that got you a record.
Atlantic Records heard it and signed us. So through that period, that whole thing, it was almost like he orchestrated the whole thing. It was crazy.
Mad how life works out, isn't it?
Mental.
But even we're talking off camera about the Kanye West documentary and his mum. Your dad was very much similar to his.
Brilliant. I used to tell you, listen, you can do anything you want to do. Don't let anyone hold you back. Don't let anybody's opinions or anything shift your mindset. Just focus on what you want to do, and you can achieve it. And go, "Dad, it doesn't work like that." And he says, "It doesn't matter. Just keep going." It's weird. I think about it, I said to you, he says, "Giants don't see themselves in mirrors." See, as soon as she said that, I thought, man,
It was brilliant, that,
geez,
wasn't it?
unreal. Just remind me
Because
so
he came
much
on
about
tour
that.
with us, didn't he?
Came on tour with Youngblood, they sell t-shirts, and then literally 2 days later he was singing in front of 4,000 people in Warsaw.
On the stage?
On the stage, because the boys at him, he's like, "You sing this song called Waiting on the Weekend for me, right?" My dad's like, "You want me to sing? I'll sing, no bother." So we're travelling this, he asked him in Prague, we played Prague, and he came into the dressing room, he's like, "Bertie, I want you to sing like Warsaw tomorrow night." He said, "No bother, buddy, I'll sing." So he spent the whole 8-hour journey to Prague on the bus, writing down all these lyrics, right?
Big headphones on.
Big headphones and that.
Singing
Don't
away,
leave me,
yeah.
I'm learning, I'm performing tomorrow, leave me alone. So he's writing these lyrics. We get there the next day, we go and play, brilliant show. My dad's on next, Youngblood. And dad's like, "You got the lyrics?" He's like, "See all the lyrics?" Forgot them all. You got one line, "Waiting for the weekend," that's my line, that's all I need to sing. So the one of the roadies, the stage manager, came up to my dad and says, "Bert, this stage, this set has got, it's all choreographed, we know what we're doing, so
timestamp.
Timestamp, you can't go in and interrupt anything, don't put Youngblood off anything that he's saying, just go on. When he asks you to sing, sing."
So
he's like, "He says, you got it, Bert?" He says, "I've got it, no bother." He's a mic, no bother. Okay, he's like, "I want to welcome somebody on stage, it's Saint Phnx support band. They brought their dad on tour, Bert." My dad, "Hello Warsaw, make some fucking noise!" and I was like, "No, you're not supposed to talk." He's like, "Listen, this is Youngblood, I am old blood, we are blood." He's like, "Oh, man."
It was like that.
And then he sang, man, we're sitting at the side of the stage, great our eyes out. Because
Oh,
we
what a
know
hero,
that he's done well, great our eyes out, and he's singing, but great experience, and that's what music is, like to do that, to involve your family and all the rest of it, it was brilliant. What a memory.
Brilliant, what a guy he says. Right, talking to happy place, I wanted to ask you, what would you say Slaney's happy place was?
Amsterdam. I wouldn't even think
I was going to say under his dad's bed, but you're going to Amsterdam, right? Kev, Kyle? China Buffy and that. China Buffy.
Greg's. I want
Greg's,
aye.
Andy Halliday.
Ibrox.
Lived I was going to say Lived
I know. I was going to say something else because I'm going to Istanbul hair transplant. That's where I'm going next. But
I bet him today is. I think he's going to go for it soon.
I'm going for one.
It's 2 for 1.
2 for 1. I'm going to go for one to get myself top.
How is that? Is that going? Looks alright.
No, I was just
panicking for no reason.
I know, I'm panicking, but see that now. Facebook, Mark Zuckerberg, he's the thought police. They start showing you adverts and all the rest of it. So I keep seeing adverts for hair transplants on my phone, so I'm next, man.
Slaney's wanting his pubes done, he says he's not hair, he wants even more hair on his pubes.
With the right colour. Get them down.
Right, the Rangers. We talked about it at the start. Massive Rangers fan. Where did that come from? Does that come from your dad as well?
Aye, so...
What's your one that you grew up?
Wishy, aye. So literally all our family, both sides are Rangers. My dad's uncle Bobby played with Rangers in the 70s. Not in the 70s, in the 60s. And basically, we've just always been Rangers fans for day one. Aye.
Hero growing up?
Ali.
Super Ali for me.
Stevie a different year.
You met McCoy?
Aye, brilliant.
Just
best guy ever.
guy,
Oh,
he's
amazing.
unbelievable.
As well.
Great guy, unbelievable. And just getting back to the shout out when my dad was in hospital, messaged Alan McCoy to do a video, and Alan McCoy sent him a video. So never forget that what he did for my dad. Unbelievable.
Brilliant. Top guy.
When they do the fucking hydro for us, but you'll send it. What about last year? Roller coaster, wasn't it? How close were you to coming winning that European Cup? Did you go to Seville?
I
was
to
Seville, aye, we were
Was
there.
it the game?
Unbelievable.
Aye.
Of course she's got a
Of course.
Eric Ferguson has played 100 times, couldn't at a game and you've got a ticket. How did you get your tickets, Scotty?
I said,
No, I said hello, it's Derek Ferguson here. Stole them off him.
Scotty helped us out, which was brilliant. So very lucky and privileged to get the tickets.
Aye.
Saying that, 25 minutes to go, looking at him going, I can't believe this. Because I went to Manchester, I got a ticket for Manchester with my dad. So the fact that going again, it was unbelievable, but it wasn't to be. So
extra time, you must have thought we've got them here. One Kent.
No, I didn't. I thought extra time. I thought when we brought Ruth on, I thought right, we're looking better, and we brought Davis on, we're looking way better.
Aye.
We're playing on the channels. Kent had that chance at the end, but went to extra time. I was feeling a wee bit, I don't know, and then obviously penalties. I was like, there's no chance, man. I just
I couldn't watch it. Abdi was standing in front, I'd get my heat, crap myself, and then I just kept saying, did it again? That's all I kept saying.
You never watched a single penalty?
No, he did his back. Ty couldn't
The only
watch it.
the only penalty I watched was Scotty's, and he walked up with the swagger, and I thought, I was just then going, please score, and I was like, what a penalty, man. Him and Dave, I watched him back, but...
What's the story with you and Scotty then? I know Scotty since he's the boy, one of the best guys you can ever meet in your life. How did you come to be pally with Scotty?
So Scotty used to play in a band called the Begbies years ago, and we were a real band. So we had Scotty to play. We had put on our own festival, and just through the band scene, just get in touch with him. And then Scotty's best mate, or one of his best mates, Liam, was a guitarist in the Begbies. I've been really pally with Liam ever since, just the music scene pretty much, and then. Just kept in touch, kind of on my side for Rangers. It was brilliant. He's been very kind to us and big fan of the band. So
because I see on his Snapchat, he's at a lot of your gigs.
Aye.
So does he come back? Does he still play with you backstage and stuff like that?
No, we're going to set something up, but he's right into his music.
Yeah,
he loves his music, and he's a top boy. So. Just very good to be pals with him,
And through him, have you ended up meeting other players as well?
Oh, best story ever. See the Leipzig game? I mean, the things you need to do to get a ticket, right? So we played the fan zone. The boy says, right, I'll get you in for the tickets. So we end up in hospital. This is class. So this is how the song came about as well. But after the game, I was camped down a few pints. Stevie goes out on the phone. And
then again, a reception basically. So I went out to the club deck to phone the missus to say, listen, don't know what time we're back. I'm just letting you know. And Arfield's best mate was up, he was on the phone, he's like, come in, and I was like, what is it, just come in. So I grabbed Alan and Johnny, we went back, so we went in, we've been lucky to be in the box before, it was great, but we went in, next minute, Scotty walks in, Arfield walks, Davo walks in, and Griggsy walks in.
Oh, look at Davo, Griggsy.
Champagne, they're spraying us with champagne, what a memory, man.
Class. It was the best thing ever. I'm going like, Stevie, go and ask for a photo with Davo, please go on. He's like, no, it's no cool. Steve Davis, right? Probably asked him for a photo with Stevie, and I've just photobombed it. He's like, can I get a picture with you?
Love your band.
No way.
Steve Davis,
I was like, no way. I'm made up. It's absolutely amazing, man.
One of the boys' top guys.
Aye.
But absolutely amazing, honestly brilliant. So
Was McGregor on it?
McGregor was a wee bit of champagne, but since then Al McGregor's became the biggest Saint Phnx fan.
Is he right?
Mentions all the time.
We were at Pride of Scotland Awards, right? It's just like 2 weeks ago, playing at Pride of Scotland Awards, and Al McGregor's there. He's with the PR guy for Rangers, so he kept saying, "Few beers after, boys." Aye, mate, aye, let's go. And PR guy's like, "No chance, he's getting him."
So we were playing. We were playing the ceremony,
Aye.
and after we get tanked up, and he gets.
I says to him, I says, "Brilliant getting that extra year's extension. Sanga could maybe get a shot on goals with you." He's like, "What?" I says, "Go hit a penalty to me now." He's like, "What?" He's like, "I've not got a ball." I says, "I don't need a ball. Go hit a penalty." So I'm in the assembly rooms in Edinburgh. He's hitting a near penalty and I'm diving about the ground. I was right.
There's all these folk around us. I'm talking to the director boy, and I turn round, and all these folk are circled around Al McGregor hitting invisible penalties.
I was like, "After the post," and he was like, "Go again." It was honestly so embarrassing, but actually, you'd also get to see that. Penalty Al McGregor.
Top man.
But there's another connection as well, because Ross Wilson actually, who's now at Rangers, he stopped Scotty from being a musician as well, didn't he?
The story is that when Scotty was in the band with the Begbies, Ross Wilson was at Falkirk, so was Scotty, and Scotty was in the papers and all the rest of it with local footballer and the band and all the rest of it named after the Trnsmt character. And the story is Ross Wilson says you got a choice to make football or music, so he chose football. Probably the right decision.
Right choice.
I haven't seen that townhouse in the West End. I think he's made the fucking
right
choice.
What other players who else have been good to you? I think Jimmy Bell was good. Jimmy Bell's daughter.
Jimmy Bell was. We didn't know this, but actually his daughter messaged us after he passed away and said that was a big fan, and the family would be honoured if he played the Happy Place at the funeral. So we were absolutely privileged and an honour to do that. And
was that your first time playing in front of the full Rangers squad?
Aye. Well, just playing in that kind of environment is very insane. But I think that we're very honoured that we could be there for Jimmy's family and do that. But the big thing for us was getting to know that we didn't know that Jimmy was a fan and used to play us, and where he used to drive about and the changing room and all this stuff.
I know, it's mad to think that maybe when the boys are getting ready for a game, it's your song that it's on in the fucking
absolutely.
Aye, so
you could take a wee bit of credit for that fucking run last year, then, couldn't you?
I don't know about that.
I'm taking it.
And you released a Rangers song and performed at Ibrox as well?
Aye. That's the thing, it was just the whole season. Everyone was so.
I said it. Drink's a bad thing, by the way. Drink's a terrible
right, so talk to you, you're sitting steaming.
So we played the Leipzig game, brilliant. Hospitality after it, free drink away, getting steaming, and after it we won, right? Fucking cloud nine, drinking at the hospitality. So backstage with David, works at Rangers, the marketing bit, and Stephen was like, "Davo," he said, "Why see this song I've written for the Rangers, man? It's an absolute belter." He's like, "Are you serious?" He says, "Aye, I've wrote this song, man. It's an absolute screamer. Make us dream, right?" And he's like, "Brilliant." I says, "We could definitely do something. I'd love to hear it." I says, "Cracker." So that night, driving home, my manager phones me. I was in America. He's like, "Oh, he's done it, brilliant, absolutely superb." So I just telling the boy for Rangers, I wrote a song. It's an absolute cracker. He said, "Oh, superb. We'll talk in the morning anyway." So I woke up in the morning, my bag and hangover. The text message and email. Text message was for David at Rangers. "Can you send this song over? They're to hear it." All the whole marketing team want to hear it, and an email from my manager who's copied in all the heads at Atlantic Records saying the boys have secured the official song of the Europa League. And I've not even wrote it. I've not even wrote the song.
Brilliant.
So I was like, I need to go write a song. So we went to the studio on a Sunday for a whole day, and we wrote the song and put it out, and it came together. The fans loved it, and said a wee bit sceptical putting it because you put it on Twitter, you get slaughtered.
Well, you know that, what was it you tried to do?
No.
Yeah, that's it. Well, he's had experience because he wrote a Rangers song before called I'm a Big Blue Bear. With his mate.
I'm a Big Blue Bear?
He wrote a song called I'm a bear, I'm a big blue bear. With his mate Stag do, and they put it on Twitter and I get absolutely slaughtered. So we know first hand that
so how did this one go down to?
Everybody loved it. So
we're relieved.
We're ready to leave.
So do you remember getting the call to say can you play at Ibrox?
But that was the thing with Ibrox was we get the call to play the Legends game, to play Happy Place at the Legends game. So it's just been a recurring theme. But I think that because it's an entertainment thing and we're Rangers fans, it kind of goes hand in hand. So I lucky to do the Leipzig game and the Legends game, and then we wrote the song for getting to the Europa League final, and the fans loved it, so it was good.
What about the Legends game? Because I know some of the players, obviously Barry, Ferguson.
Aye, oh, brilliant.
Because I imagine it's all a laughing joke at the start, but see, because you're fucking probably hopeless and they're brilliant. Did any of them proper get on you?
We got the half time when the
you never actually
played. That's the
right,
next one.
Right.
Barry Ferguson being kind to us on the radio and stuff, saying nice things, and looking up to him as a player when you're growing up. And we were doing the sound check, and he walks in with Craig Moore. He's like, "There's my favourite band," and I'm like, "Oh man, just don't know what to say to him."
And then we're just kicking about. We weren't supposed to be doing. Pitch side we were supposed to be doing like to go and play. They were supposed to be back up, but we were just like dinging all the security to stay down. So we're next to Kaka and Figo, Abidal, they're all just Charisma. They're all just kicking about. We were just getting pictures with them and that, and just like to meet those players.
Things you're not supposed to do, we were doing it.
Brilliant, man.
Good fun.
What a year it's been for you, eh?
It's been awesome.
What about in terms of managers? Did you meet Gerrard or Van Bronckhorst at any time?
We just met Gio. We never,
Is he a good guy?
Aye, remember the Jimmy Bells?
We met when Gerrard got announced. We had the monitor in the corner. We had a wee rehearsal room. We were rehearsing, and when Gerrard was getting announced, we drove to Ibrox. So we were there when he got announced.
It was class,
right.
surreal.
A couple of years ago, but never got the chance to meet him. But I was fanboying back then. 100%.
And do you think Van Bronckhorst's listening to this stuff?
We know
100%.
he is because we know there's another big fan. I know his name drop, but Roy Mackay.
Is he?
Aye, Roy Mackay follows
No,
us.
Roy Mackay's a big Saint Phnx
I thought he'd be like a Mosher or something, Roy Mackay.
I thought was
that a golf guy?
But
Him and Ryan Kent listening to fucking heavy metal.
Roy Mackay. So I think he's shared it with Gio. Hopefully, aye.
It's a bit mad because Roy Mackay's a bit of a fucking football legend.
Aye,
isn't
aye,
he?
Bayern Munich.
insane.
And
So here he's a fan of
Same
your
Roy Mackay's on Instagram, and we're talking about shiting and farting and all the rest of Instagram stuff. And you're like, Roy Mackay's watched that.
Because he follows you.
Aye. He's into that kind of thing.
You're like,
He's into that kind of
That's mad, that, isn't it?
daft.
Imagine his reaction to that. Right, this season, what he's expecting? I think it'll be a good season this year. I think both will spend a few quid.
I spend.
Van Bronckhorst bringing his in players.
I think so. I said last year that when they rate off Postecoglou, because you don't know. You can't just say we'll run away. There's no idea because
You need to give him credit. He's done brilliant.
100%, and there's no way about it. And I think last season, Rangers obviously winning the Scottish Cup and getting to the final Europa League. It's two good teams. It's not like usually it's like one good team and one shite team. Two very good teams.
Aye.
I think looking at Celtic doing their business here, like we've brought in Cholak and obviously get Suter in. Really hope we get a couple other players in, but I think it's going to be close again. Very, very
I think
close.
it's well, but January, last season, we should have got a striker in to replace Morelos, because you look at it for January right
We had a poor window in
two
January.
games against Celtic as well. You get the chance to go and kick on, but it's the way it goes. That's football.
As Scottish football,
Aye.
it looks like Aribo's going to leave.
Aye,
I thought he was really good, especially the first half of the season. He was very good.
On fire.
He wasn't as good when he came back for the
Cup of
African
Nations.
Cup, but that first 6 months he was excellent, wasn't he?
It was brilliant. I think also he's very versatile in terms of going centre mid or playing
Just off the right at times,
on the right or even playing as the false nine, as you said. Big player. Listen, our model is get them in, build them up and sell them, and it's going to have to happen. That's going to have to happen sometimes. So
Some return.
it's probably the right
$300
time.
grand for 10 million, still
to
a
go,
year
aye.
left his contract, still good money.
Great business. It looks like Bassey will be the same, won't it? Another similar type.
I think we'll do the same, and that's where we're at as a club. And it's all right if you're getting the best out of the players and they're achieving stuff. Sell them on for a big profit. That should be the way forward, 100%.
See, is there any other bands kicking about that Rangers fans?
Well, we do know.
It's old Marty Pello, isn't it? He always
It's all
gets
Marty
told,
Pello. Supposedly, I think Sam for Twin Atlantic's a Rangers fan, and I think Simon for Biffy Clyro.
Oh, is he
But
right?
they've not been vocal about it, but folk for a good way were very scared to.
Were you a wee bit sceptical of doing that coming out as Rangers fans?
I think it's like, see if you don't like somebody because what football team they support, who cares? Like Soccer AM and like so knows he's Man United, Oasis,
Exactly.
Man
Sam
City.
Fender the night.
Sam Fender,
He's a guy
Newcastle.
playing saxophone with the Newcastle
Newcastle
tap on.
Who cares?
Yeah.
Who cares?
Goes.
It's like if you support a team, then great. You like good music. Who cares? That's how we view it, man.
Right, you spoke about Gerrard. I wanted to ask you about the situation. We devastated. We actually met Andy Halliday. We were in for a meeting where we go kind of go through a few things, and he's like, "No way, Gerrard's leaving. No way he's leaving. I've heard there's no way he's leaving." as we're sitting there text, I've never seen Andy like this, mate. He hit a proper downer, mate. He hit a proper downer.
I got he's close with him, didn't he?
I think they were quite pally.
I think you could see at the start of last season something wasn't right. I think he was maybe promised transfer funds that wasn't there, and he I don't know if he not took the hump, but you could see the something wasn't right.
The team weren't ticking either.
The team, I think they'd maybe gone a bit stale. Don't get me wrong, for what he did, not just on the park, but training facilities,
we carried himself.
Everything about it was good. So very grateful for having him and what he for getting the league we all craved. And but I was
just
kind of sad to
that's
see him
so
go,
like
but
timing.
you've just
got
got
a national break, and it's just like I'm away after saying it.
Just said a week before he was happy. And
you get asked that question. What are you going to say?
Nah, you're not going to come and say I'm fucking desperate.
Exactly. So it's a hard one.
We spoke about heroes. McCoy's done anything else. Who else was Loudrop Gascoigne?
Loudrop Gaza. My first Rangers game was 8 in a row. Gaza scored the hat trick, run for the halfway line.
Who was at Aberdeen or something?
Aberdeen, aye. So that was Gaza, Loudrop. Barry Ferguson as well was a massive, but Coisty's number one, 100%.
You the same?
I see.
So any like left field, and you would think that you.
Do you know I love Russell Latipi?
Oh,
when he
what
signed
a
with
player
Rangers.
That's Scotty Arfield's best player he's played with, he says Russell Latipi.
Unreal, man.
And he loves a fag, loves a drink, doesn't he? So
I remember bumping into Big Yogi. I said that to him, what's he like as a player? Because the Falkirk stuff was at 50, 60 a day, and I thought, oh, what's that? Like, keep you up, he's on sprints, and he's like, no, fags. I was like, for God's sake, man. You would tell a young boy that? And he's like, aye, that's what he was like, but just phenomenal.
I know we're kind of grass on Scotty, but does he get on it backstage with us?
No,
when the time's right, he's obviously off the next day.
We had a night out with Scotty to the West End, a couple of drinks, and then we were out for a good bit of time, and then we went to, was it Mosquito? Mosquito. Grado showed up.
Of course he did.
Grado
showed up.
Grado showed up. I don't know if it was Grado's his uncle or something. Aye. So Grado shows up with this random dude with a bottle of lime cordial in his top pocket.
Don't wear that in a glass.
So we like skip away and the boys said, no, he's talking to everybody, so he's this lime cordial. I was like, what's going on here? Anyway, we just found out, we left early, and Grado's uncle or mad mate says, listen, this is I'm out with the Saint Phnx boys, Nathan Evans, Scotty Arfield, Grado, I want to pay for it. And the boy got a show, it was a $2,000 bill the next day. couldn't afford it.
Who graded it? Did he not pick it
Look,
up?
it's Grado's mate. He said, I want to pay for all his $2,000 or something. Boy gets stung, so...
What's Grado on a night? Is he funny?
He's a good guy.
I can imagine him farming.
He's good. He's a good guy. Good laugh.
See the wrestling stories, but some of the wrestling stories tell you.
He's a funny boy, isn't he?
He's brilliant.
That's another guy just doing something he loves, man, living the dream.
He's got a good way about him, Grado. I like him, man. Right, talking about nights out, what about bands nights out? You've had a few young bloods, Capaldis.
A few
band nights.
Capaldi, we did the Capaldi tour. He was going number 1 in America, so it was like every week he would say, I'm number 4. Well, the next day we were number 3, I'm number 2.
So you was with him on like a bus while this is all happening?
So he was number 1 in the UK, and then a week before tour, phoned, you want to go on tour, we Lewis across America a week, so you get visas and all that sorts of bits. Can have him sorted out, 5-week tour.
See when that happens, he's jumping up and doing it.
Yeah,
brilliant.
Because we just came off a 3-month tour in America with Youngblood, it was the best time of my life, and then we're with 5 week with Lewis Capaldi. So he's slowly getting there. And in the last 3 or 4 days, he got to number 1 in America. So we're with him when he's number 1 in America.
So you celebrating with him?
So he's phenomenal. Let's go. So
where did you go?
With Philadelphia, I was the last night tour.
Obviously, you saw Scottish guys, don't know where you are.
You've no clue.
He's like, we'll get in this club here.
So we're scooped. Next minute, all these just guys everywhere, with no clothes on, doing the YMCA. I says, I think we're in one of these.
Was that a game?
It was a game, but I will tell you what, it was one of the best nights I've had in my life.
Oh, it was brilliant.
Absolutely brilliant, man.
Did people recognise him in America when he went number 1, or was he just like?
Because he was everywhere. Because the record label and everything, they were desperate to get him to number 1. So he was on Jimmy Fallon, Jimmy Kimmel. He was taking like private jets.
Did you go watch it?
No, we were left. We were left to drive about.
We were a minivan.
We were a minivan behind his bus, but. What an experience for him, and it was just good to be part of it in some sort of
Unreal
way.
To see that, it's inspiring, but when you watch it, you guys through Bathgate, do you know what I mean? He's only up the road and you sit and watch all that success. It's like, man.
He's done great. He's so humble as well. He's such a good guy. We went back to his a couple of times after SWG3, he'd come and watch it, we'd go back there, mate. Such a
bonkers,
nice guy. He
hilarious.
had the guitar out, singing, playing.
Brilliant, top guy, so nice to us.
Oh, is that what he's like in real life for that? Is he, what you see is what you get. He's
100%.
just
Brilliant.
hilarious. Brilliant down the earth, nicest guy ever.
You know, say you were touring with Young Blood and his missus is like the biggest pop star in America.
Oh, I
Halsey
Halsey.
at the time. She was the big.
She's gorgeous as well.
She was alright. She was
That's
alright.
right, aye.
She's kicking about with no tap on a tour bus. It was distracting.
Wow.
But no, it was good. Again, just to be involved in all of that. It's
Aye,
brilliant.
good.
What was more distracting, her not wearing a tap or Capaldi not wearing a tap?
I'm gonna
I'd
say.
imagine it looked quite similar.
Oh, it was Adam in a tap on that. How many trousers on that?
Is he brilliant? He's brilliant live as well, isn't he?
Aye.
He generally he is a
He
talented
can-
boy as well, isn't he?
Oh, he can
Aye.
sing like
Aye.
mad. That's what I'm saying. See, you give MD singing his songs right, and you see there an 8 out of 10. Him singing it's 10 out of 10.
It takes it all the way.
Unbelievable.
He's unbelievable. And I said it was just brilliant to see him beside the stage every night. It was class.
Again, after gigs, do you get like a wee session backstage where you're all singing together? Nah, does that not happen?
Not much with the capacity, because the Young Blood tour we were in his tour bus. So
Aye,
you
that
were
was
glued
class.
to him for 3
Wow,
months. It was
laugh,
brilliant.
How did that come about with Young Blood then?
We were at Hydro seeing a band, and email to our phones ping bang. Young Blood 3 months over the summer on his tour bus. He in or out? And we just looked
That
at
was
each other
it.
and
Answer now. It was like,
answer now.
So
So,
how did he know about you? Was there a...
so the funny story is, Young Blood's guitarist Adam, who's a good friend of ours now, he's best mates with Lewis. So he had known the band and that, and Young Blood had heard us, and you know, looking for a band, and he wanted us to do it. So he said, 3 months on a tour bus across America and Europe, America and Canada. It's the best time of your life.
Living the dream,
Unreal.
boys.
Best
Oh,
time of your life, man.
Class.
what it's all about, and there's another famous people story, but it's the most fucking random famous people in the world. Was it in LA you said?
oh,
After
LA.
a gig?
Oh man, so we played LA with Young Blood, and outside it's had a big massive tour bus, right, and there's commotion. I was like, what's going on, man? What's happening out here?
TMZ was there, no?
TMZ.
Aye.
What the hell's going on? So you're watching it. Machine Gun Kelly's on top of this tour bus.
That's Megan
with
Fox's
Young Blood,
band.
right?
Aye.
I'm going, what's this guy doing? He's about 8 foot tall. What's he doing? Does a front
Is
flip.
he a roaster, be honest?
I never spoke to him.
Right.
We've done a
He's
front
a
flip.
roaster.
I'm not saying
Fucking
he's probably
roaster.
better than me. We've done a front flip off the tour bus, off the top here, onto the crowd. Some laddie, what's going on? He's like, there's an after party. So we got up the stair. And this after party, Machine Gun Kelly, Travis Barker.
Who goes out with Courtney Kardashian?
Aye.
Kardashian.
Young-
So
they
they're
walk
it's all LA. Look at me type ping all these folk.
What's
You're
going
like,
on
what's
here,
going
right?
on,
So like, kind of crowd starts separating. Who's still in there? Danny Ings, we had to rub it out on. Danny Ings and Kel for the view.
Danny Ings and Kel for the
Right,
view.
I'm going.
In the middle of this, all these folk. I was like, this is.
What's
Right,
going on
yeah,
here,
fuck's
man?
Danny
I'm
Ings.
in Planet Zog.
Aye.
Get me out of here. What's going
Yeah,
on?
Was Kyle and Danny together or was
No, I think they might have been. They were
No,
over at the
they were
bar.
talking to each other,
They
aye.
were talking to each other.
Got him
so-
a belter too. Went up. I was talking about the last of the band. She's, what would you like? She said 4 pints in the bar, come back. She's like, it's a free bar, man. It's a free bar. What you want, lads? What you want, lads? She's like, tequilas, we'll get tequilas in the bar. He's like, 4 tequilas, 4 pints, and gives 4 Jack Daniels and Coke. That's like $174.
Fucking stung like a bastard, man.
That's lovely, though.
Oh, superb. That was a surreal night, man.
Brilliant. TikTok, you've got 310,000 followers.
Because this man's a national treasure,
So
by the
what
way.
is it? How did that blow up as well?
Unreal.
So managers need to jump on TikTok. Is that there's absolutely no way I'm jumping on TikTok. It's for wee lasses doing dances and that. He said, no, listen, that's the way to go out there.
It's going to her.
So I was like, right, okay. So we started doing acoustic covers, man. Thinking we're going to make it on TikTok. Nobody liked it. No views or not.
3 years doing a video. You know what I mean?
I clipping videos and that. And I was like,
He's one of doing all the pure thing, synchronised.
no, it's just
I did,
just playing our songs,
I
but
did.
acoustic.
Right.
Or then like a cover of a song like that. Getting nowhere, and then just kept. I said, I'll start using it and see how it works. So just Scottish. I was like, right. So I just started doing Scottish stuff. How Scottish people say this kind of word and all the rest of it.
Right.
Next minute it just blew up, and then I'm on Lad Bible and Scottish sayings and Scottish places. So I think Scottish people just love the Scottish accent. It's just basically
Funny,
being
isn't it?
yourself, being Scottish, and then it just went crazy. And then from there we've added music and the story of Happy Place, and it's kind of just grew from there, aye.
See, a happy place. That was on Sky Sports.
Aye, Sky Sports was one of the adverts for a bit, aye.
So how does that come about? Do you make money out of that or what?
Well, aye, you get royalties for watching it. That's how I guess you make money. So but it takes like a year and that to come in. So if it gets played last year, it's going to be 18 months or something.
Is
But
that how it works?
It takes ages, man,
it's
aye.
crap, man.
Because we spoke to Luke Levolt last year and he was saying like with streaming now it's hard to fucking make money as
Oh,
a
it don't
musician.
make
Have
nothing.
you found that?
Like for 1 million streams, you make $4,000. But you don't make that, it goes to record label, so you make bucks.
And then you just get a wee bit.
You get a wee bit, you get money, you get royalties off radio playing live, and you get money off like adverts and stuff. But that's pretty much
What's
it. But
one
it's
I
tough.
check, you check your statement and you go, that's quite good, man. That's done 125,000, man. How much is that? And you go, 750.
£7.50. Aye, it's terrible.
£7.50. You go, you're joking me?
Aye, so we need to start a campaign on Open Goal to properly pay musicians and artists right, man.
They're no musicians, just us.
Just us.
Just to fuck everyone else, not caring about everyone else. So what's next for you then? How'd you get to that next level?
So tonight we're playing King Tut's. It's a wee pre-show Trnsmt. Tomorrow playing King Tut stage, which is great. When is this going out, by the way? It's going out tonight. I can't see it then. Say it. All right. So I was saying the next show's going to be the Barrowlands.
Yes.
Open Go exclusive.
Yeah.
We're playing the Barrowlands 8th April next
Another
year.
exclusive.
And we're just going to keep going. Got some other music, another album up the sleeve going to come out. So that's the plan.
And then would that be another tour again?
Touring, back
and
out.
hopefully do the Open Go and see if we can do the
This'll
hydro.
take you- this'll
Do
take
the
you to
hydro, man.
Next time we do it, you can.
We'll come
on.
play.
Class.
Aye.
Amazing.
100%. Boys, fucking pleasure.
Thanks
Right,
for
thank
having
you
us.
so much.
Is it a wee happy place a cappella now?
When you go.
No, I'm not a singer.
I told you that story when you say action, I fucking seize up, so I
You
can't
see
do it.
that
No.
live, come
Just-
on.
just
This is
play.
how to make amends for yourself.
Just one line, go sing one line.
Over the hills and far away, looking out for a better day.
Stop.
When it seems like there's no escape, take me to my happy place.
If you don't get goosebumps, you're an idiot.
Brilliant, boys.
Well done. Thank you.